And this is going to be analyzed for years to come. History in the making as you're watching. I want to bring in Susan Constantine, a body language expert. Susan, quickly, how do you think Kavanaugh did coming out there swinging, so to speak?
Not well at all. It's not working for him. And, watching that, his presentation was horrifying from a body language expert's point of view. There were so many deceptive indicators. There were so many here that I couldn't even list them all. Between disgust and contempt and smirking and arrogance and being defensive. Just the overall demeanor, plus with his pausing, his hesitations during those tough questions. I look for 3 indicators in a 7-second period of time when a stimulus question is asked, and when he's
What are they?
Well, for example, one of the questions was any sexual behavior at all. And he shakes his head, and he says no, but he shakes his head right after that. When a person is being truthful, they shake their head no first. They don't do it after. It's an afterthought. The other one is about the grinding part of it. His voice starts to lower. So when people tell a secret or something is untrue...
Susan, I want to get back to you later on, but I do want to get to his testimony and his defending himself. Judge Kavanaugh choking up a short time ago. Susan Constantine is back with us, a body language expert. She joins us from Orlando. So when you see Brett Kavanaugh choke up, get upset. He spoke about his mom and how he looked up to her, and that's why he became a lawyer. That's why he became a judge. But does his body language connect with what he's saying?
When he's talking about his kids and his mother and those experiences that are important to him and how it's affected his status and his relationship with his family, that's when he starts to break down, and those are sensitive moments. But remember, though, this is about him. When he deflects now, he changes his complete demeanor and his focus on the other person. He becomes very arrogant and controlling and dominating, which then that contrast makes that sensitive area where when he's sensitive, there's such a discord between the two. So when he says that I have empathy, whatever, for any victims, you don't see it in his facial expressions. It was just words. There was no depth behind it.
Senator Graham bringing Bill Cosby into the picture, saying you don't act like Bill Cosby in high school and then go on to become who Brett Kavanaugh is. Can that be true, that this could be one instance that he does and goes on to be successful in his working life and his career?
If you ask me that question, yes, there can be. And I wouldn't compare him to those other predators. I don't believe that Judge Kavanaugh is a predator. I think it was a moment in time that happened. Something went very bad. He knows it. I've seen it in his body language when he's talking about it. There's a lot of deceptive indicators, but that's passing behind. But I don't think that has any reflection of what he could do as far as a judge is concerned. So those two I would separate.
And Susan, let's talk about Dr. Ford, who was on the stand earlier today. Believable to so many people. I've been looking on Twitter, social media, and they just feel for her because they don't think she wants to be there. She's even admitted, I'm terrified. I don't want to be here. I feel I have to be.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. You noticed her fidgetiness when she started. She was very awkward. That's consistent with somebody that is in an environment that's uncomfortable. It's someone that is in a high-stakes situation. They're in front of millions of people. Everyone's watching them. It's going to create some physiological responses. Fidgetiness, nervousness, anxiety, and that is consistent with what she was saying. She even said that I'm terrified. Yeah, she's nervous about being there. But all of her words were consistent with her body language. I think she did extremely well. She was very believable. She was credible, and I think she's telling the truth.